What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the CaliKidOfficial Podcast. This is episode number 42, I do believe. So let's get right into it. So this past weekend, or should I say this past week, has been very eventful. A couple of situations have developed in terms of in the hip hop realm. So first up, Casanova is being indicted by the FBI due to him being involved in a gang known as the Gorilla Stone Nation. It says 18 people involved are indicted on racketeering, murder, drugs, and fraud charges. And basically, he's being charged out of those crimes with racketeering, conspiracy to distribute controlled substances, and firearms possession. So basically, this is another RICO case similar to that of the Nine Trey blood gang. So let's get into the actual article. So the statement says 17 of the 18 named were already in custody, but the FBI's New York office then tweeted a picture of Casanova, whose legal name is Casanova Sr. So this was the first part of the story that was reported, but more recently he's actually turned himself in to face the charges. He already said that he's innocent and whatnot, that he's gonna fight it. But when the FBI and all of them come after you, they usually have a strong case against you. So more than likely, he's gonna have to take some type of plea deal if he can't prove that he didn't do what he was accused of. Because they said they got wiretaps and all types of other stuff too, which is, whole situation is crazy. So yeah, and they use his old mug shot. So these is like all the people that's been indicted within the case. Dick Wolf, Beagle, these is like their alias names. And then there's also a video that that's been put out of someone that I guess was friends with his girlfriend, basically snitching and naming him being involved in the crimes, and that's why he was picked up. So we'll just have to see, what happens with this story. But it's kind of crazy. It's like you have it all and you throw it away. It's like once you make it out, you gotta do away with that life because it's gonna come back and get you. But yeah, this whole situation is crazy. And then moving on from that into Herbo, another rapper, being involved in some type of crime, and he's being charged for his involvement in fraud. So it's basically saying him and his team was involved in charging fake credit cards for trips overseas, for private jets, for limos, for exotic cars and animals and all types of crazy stuff. So it's like, you a millionaire, why are you doing all that? So let me get to what it actually says. So these is like all the people involved, I guess. So it says, now Wright, 25, finds himself with new difficulties. He has been named in a federal fraud case brought in Massachusetts, alleging he, his music promoter, and other members of his crew used stolen identifications to charge more than $1 million worth of exotic services over a 4-year period. That's crazy. So yeah, they basically been building this case for that long. Among the ill-gotten gains were trips on private jets, limos, cars, vacations in Jamaica, etc., etc. Also charged in the alleged scheme were Antonio T. Glow, Wright's promoter, and manager Southside rapper Joseph Joe Rodeo Williams. Wright surrendered to federal authorities in California on Thursday, according to prosecutors. The 14-count indictment charges all defendants with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Strong is also charged with wire fraud. Court records show the most serious charges carry up to 20 years in prison. An arraignment for all 6 defendants was scheduled for Monday in Springfield. So whoever Strong is gonna get the bulk of the time because he was the ringleader. So he about to do some football numbers. G Herbo's management company, Machine Entertainment Group, issued a statement after the charges were made public, saying he maintains his innocence and looks forward to establishing his innocence in court. That shit is crazy. According to the indictment, the scheme centered on the defendant's use of stolen credit card information and personal identities obtained either from the dark web or other sources. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on now with this pandemic, people scamming and all types of crazy stuff. So it's unfortunate, but this is the type of things that happen when you surround people that's on those type of activities around you. The defendants then texted or used social media to share the stolen information on the fly. So yeah, they got y'all on text messages and probably wiretaps too. That's crazy. The indictment alleged Wright did what he was told. The company representative messaged Wright back on Instagram asking, "You're getting two puppies correct." Wright then confirmed the order. Yeah, so it looks as though they got him involved in some craziness, pretty much. But I didn't know what was going on. I don't think that's gonna fly. So Strong has a history of fraud. So Strong was the wolf in sheep's clothing, pretty much, because he's the reason for all of this. He was charged in Georgia last year for the same thing. This is crazy. It's like you get out of a bad situation not to go back, and in both of these situations you got two people that pretty much couldn't let go of their past situations. They still have ties to it, and it's come back to bite them. So we just gonna have to see what happens with that. Hopefully things work out for them, but it's not looking too good for either Casanova or G Herbo. But moving on from that, I wanted to get into some music. So I have a record out now called "We Will Fight." That's the last of the 4 records that I put out, and then after that, on this upcoming Friday the 11th, my full album Magnum Opus will be available everywhere, so you guys can check that out. It's an EDM album, so make sure you guys check that out, support that. You can listen to the first 4 records right now on my channel, which is of course Voices, 6-minute interludes, Spanish Talk, and We Will Fight is available to listen to right now. And then the full album will be out on the 11th of December. It's called Magnum Opus. There's also merch for the album, t-shirts, masks, pillows, all types of merch, surrounding that. You guys can get that as well. The link for that is in the description of my YouTube channel. If you're listening on Anchor and Spotify, I believe the merch link is there as well, so you guys can check that out. But make sure you guys check that out. But moving on from that into sports, so we had a bit of a exhibition match set up with Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. So the background behind this was apparently Nate called out Jake Paul, was talking trash to him. So I guess they decided to get in the ring and duke it out, and it didn't go Nate's way. He ended up getting KO'd in the second round in a similar fashion to when Marquez KO'd Pacquiao. It looked the same way, and of course, when you take a L like that, you're going to get memed into oblivion, and that's pretty much what happened. So he's the butt of the joke of the internet right now, and it looks as though whoever was training him, they didn't know what they was doing, or he didn't absorb it, because he went into the fight and all he was doing was running into punches and holding. He'll punch and then try to hold, and that's not how you box. Jake has actually been, putting the work in to learn how to box, and it showed in his fight. He dropped Nate twice, and that's why you can't mess around with boxing, as they say. You can play sports, but you can't play boxing, and you have to actually know what you're doing. Otherwise, if you get in there, you're gonna find yourself in some trouble, and he found that. So JKO, Nate Robinson, and then we had the Tyson and Jones bout, which it was a bit of bullshit. The fight ended in a draw, even though Tyson won. Tyson was landing a lot of body shots, and Jones was pretty much hugging for the entire fight. So I don't see how that was a draw. I think more than anything, this was like some type of money grab scheme to get like a part 2, which me personally, I'm not interested in the part 2. I've already seen enough from that. It looks as though Tyson was taking it easy on Jones as well, because he wasn't throwing any face punches. He was mostly, body shots. And the fight ended in a draw. As far as like the performances, they were okay. Snoop had the best performance. He was great on the commentary, as well as performing. They had other artists perform. YG, he performed. French Montana, Swae Lee, and an artist by the name of St. John. That guy, hats off to him, but he should never perform live again. That was terrible. I don't know what the heck that was. I mean, nowadays you have all these artists that use auto-tune, and auto-tune ain't for everybody. That performance was terrible, but other than that, the event was it was okay. But in terms of the action, the highlight was the KO, and then Snoop on the commentary. So, but moving off of that, this weekend, or should I say, when you guys see this, we're going to be getting the Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia fight at Jerry World, aka AT&T Stadium. Spence comes into the bout 26-0, 21 KOs with an 80.7% KO percentage. Garcia 36-2 and 21 KOs with a 55.26% KO percentage. So this should be a pretty interesting bout. Errol Spence will be defending both of his titles, the IBF and WBC welterweight titles. And this match, for me personally, I think this is setting up for a big showdown, because whoever wins this fight, they're going to hold both belts. And then you got Pacquiao with a belt, and you got Crawford with a belt. And I think the next fight that should be made is Crawford versus Pacquiao with both belts on the line, which is, I believe, the WBO and the WBA. But I'm not sure. Let me see. I think that's the belts that they hold. Yeah, so Manny Pacquiao is the WBA champ, and Crawford is the WBO. So if Spence wins this fight, he retains his belts. He should fight the winner of Pacquiao and Terrence, because they have to fight. And then whoever wins out of the Terrence and Pacquiao fight, they will have 2 belts, and then those two will face either, if Spence win and Crawford win, if they decide to make the Pacquiao and Crawford fight, then it should be Spence and Crawford for all the belts. If Spence win and Pacquiao win, then Pacquiao, Spence. If Garcia win, vice versa. So that's what I think should happen after this fight. The next fight they made is Crawford versus Pacquiao for the WBO and WBA title, and then, which that's probably going to happen sometime next year, and then probably at the end of next year or close to the end of next year should be for all 4 belts for the undisputed champion. So this should be interesting, but I'm looking forward to it. Spence is coming off of being injured in that car accident, so we're gonna see where he's at. Garcia, he's trying to make his way back into the game after suffering a couple of losses, so we'll just have to see with that. But moving on from that into a bit of basketball. So as far as the Lakers, they've been retooled. LeBron, he signed an extension for 2 years, $85 million, which comes out to $4.5 million a year, and it basically extends into 2023, and that's the same year that his son is eligible for declaring for the NBA draft. So more than likely, LeBron possibly is going to try to go play wherever his son goes. So that should be a pretty interesting scenario. And then we get Anthony Davis. He re-signed 5 years, $190 million, which comes out to $38 million per year, and he has a player option in year 4. So the Lakers, I think the Lakers are going to repeat. They added a lot of nice weapons to the squad. Marc Gasol, Schroeder, Matthews, Harrell. So they got a nice solid team. And so of course the internet comes with the memes. But yeah, this was pretty interesting. And then the season is about to pick back up again, and probably in about like 2.5 weeks. So it should be good. It should be good. But moving on from that into a bit of entertainment. So Vikings is set to return December 30th. It's going to be streaming exclusively on Amazon Prime, so I'm looking forward to that. In the preview, it showed that Bjorn Ironside actually survived that assault from his brother, so he's going to be making some type of appearance. It showed a whole bunch of different battles, both in Connecticut as well as overseas. So this season, which is the final season, is looking to be an interesting affair, and we'll just have to see what happens with that. But that's going to pretty much do it with this week's podcast. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and a comment below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on Anchor, Spotify, and everywhere else, I also appreciate you all for tuning in. Make sure you guys be on the lookout for my album Magnum Opus. It will be everywhere December 11th, so you'll be able to stream now on Spotify, watch it on YouTube, all of that. There's merch for the album. You guys can find that on my Teespring website. The link for that is in the description of my YouTube. What else? My latest record, We Will Fight, is out. I got 3 other records off of the album out as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So take care of yourself, guys, and then to the next one. Peace.
Ay papi,